The transfer portal and NIL wasn't intended to be used this way. However, it is being used this way. We opened up Pandora's box, and everybody knows this. Once you open up Pandora's box, there's no closing it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great Tuesday. Hope all of you having a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, like they say, let the games begin. Or a better way of saying it for this video is let the madness begin. Good googly moogly, what is going on? Normally we don't get all this wild transfer portal news and NIL news until, around December, January, and so on and so on. But we're already getting it in the midst of the season. We haven't even made it to the playoff yet. I'm not going to complain too much because it makes for the ultimate win-win. We get something to talk about on the channel, and you guys, well, you get something to watch. It gives you some content. We have two topics to talk about in today's video. One of those being a minor topic, and that is James Franklin. He's already getting things started at Virginia Tech. He's not wasting any time whatsoever, but the main topic of this video is Arizona State's quarterback Sam Levit and what he's doing. We are also on the push for 400,000 subscribers, so if you're new to the channel or maybe you've been watching and you're just simply not subscribed, consider joining our amazing community. We'd love to have you here. That's enough jibber jabber. Let's get straight into it. I've been following this situation closely. We'll probably make an entirely separate video talking about this in the upcoming days, so be on the lookout for that. But James Franklin, he's already offering players, as you can see right here. After a great phone call with Coach James Franklin, I'm grateful and thankful to receive an offer from Virginia Tech. Now I know what you're sitting there saying, okay, Matty boy, why is this important? It's because this guy you're looking at right here, he was going to go to Penn State. I said it in the breaking news video, I will say it again. James Franklin is a pretty dang good recruiter, dare I say, underrated, and I think he's going to wreak havoc in the ACC. Here's the great news for Virginia Tech fans. You really don't got to compete with anybody with the ACC on a downtrend outside of Mario Cristobal when it comes to recruiting. Some people may say, well, Matt, what about Dabo Swinney? Are you kidding me? You talking about Dabo the dinosaur? Get out of here. He hasn't adapted to modern times. It's just Mario Cristobal, and that's it. Like I said, we'll talk more about that in upcoming days, but we got to move on to the main topic, the main encore, main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world is going on at Arizona State? Well, it all starts here with the breaking news, as you can see right here. Arizona State star quarterback Sam Levit. Are we going to call him a star? I guess so, because that's what it says right here. Return to the program in 2026 is doubtful. Steve Wilfong and Pete Nako's report. Levit's camp is actively shopping the talented passer at a quote-unquote high level. Interesting. What do y'all think about that? So when I see that quote-unquote at a high level, I immediately think of your Alabamas of the world, your Ohio States, your Georgias, Texas, Oklahoma. I guess you'd throw Texas Tech in there because they got a lot of doubloons in the NIL department. But the one school that I think makes a lot of sense is Indiana. Yeah, you got to throw them up there with the big boys. But why it makes perfect sense, and it'd be dang near a match made in heaven, because unless I am highly mistaken, Mendoza, this is what, his 5th or 6th year, he's got to go. And even if he doesn't got to go, I'm pretty sure he's going to the NFL draft, and old Kurt Cinetti's going to need a new quarterback. Well, you could definitely, most definitely see him bringing this guy. In Indiana, they're committed to the football program. They'll give him bare minimum $1.5, $2 million. Ain't nothing to him. But here's where things get really juicy. So Levit's brother wound up posting text messages on Instagram between him and guess who? Pete Nako's. As you can see right here, he added on 3 and said, y'all are a joke. Addressed this right before Pete released the news. This is Pete Nako's in the, we'll call it the gray text, and this is Sam Levit's brother in the blue. Dalen, hope I'm saying that correctly. Hope you're well. Pete Nako's wanted to give you the heads up that we're reporting Sam is expected to enter the transfer portal and is doubtful to return to Arizona State. His brother responded, why would you do that? That's not where things are right now. He's still deciding what he wants to do. Now, I got to keep it a Fortnite V-Buck with you. I don't think this turned out the way his brother thought it was going to turn out, because this looks like it's actually validating Pete Nako's report. You see right here, his camp is actively shopping the talented passer at a high level. You notice in the blue text, it goes hand in hand. He didn't deny it. It'd be different if he said, why would you do that? Why would you report that? He's staying at Arizona State, but he didn't say that. He said, no, that's not where things are right now. No. He's still up in the air on what he wants to do. Pretty much insinuating that, yeah, he is exploring his options. So I don't know why he posted this on Instagram, because Like I said, it's just making the on-3 report look right. Let's see what some people are saying. I'm so tired of this nonsense, LMAO. Everything Izzo has said about the portal has been 100% spot on. I don't have an issue with players transferring up from smaller schools to make money and play on the biggest stage, but a guy like Levit transfers to Arizona State and takes him to a playoff. His camp, quote-unquote, is now shopping him. It's professional sports with no rules and every player being an unrestricted free agent every season. It's a joke. For the majority of these kids, there's no connection to a school at all. They're there to cash a check, and that's all that matters. To say this guy hit it on the head might be understating it. He's 110% spot on, and I agree with him. But I'm not going to go on a major rant and tangent and just lose my mind because at this point in time, I'm used to it. I'm accustomed to it, and yeah, I am tired of it. The transfer portal and NIL wasn't intended to be used this way. However, it is being used this way. We opened up Pandora's box, and everybody knows this. Once you open up Pandora's box, there's no closing it. Will there ever be rules and regulations? I don't know. But here's what I don't like, to piggyback off of who wrote this, Andrew on Twitter. Shout out to Andrew. I don't like when you got a guy at a Power 5 school, great position, who is already starting, that is going to leave to go elsewhere. If you are a backup quarterback and you're transferring, I get it. I'm in favor of that because you want to play football. But here's my dilemma with this. Sam Levit is a starting quarterback. He's already playing football. I don't like it from that standpoint. I feel like the portal was implemented so players that were second and third stringers at Alabama, Georgia, wherever, that were lied to from the previous coaching staff or the current coaching staff about how much they were going to play, they could up and leave and they could have a little bit of power. That is what it was intended for. We wanted the players to have some leverage, some power, but not this much. They have all the leverage and power now. The coaches have none. If you're the head coach of Arizona State, you can't tell them, oh, well, screw you, F off. No, because whether you want to admit this or not, or like it or not, you need him. He's your best option. So if you're Dillingham, it's not like kind of, no, you're just left out to dry and you're the side piece hoping that he chooses you to go to prom with. Mike said, I hate this era of college football. Start making these kids sign contracts with buyouts and penalties for breach of contract. This idea of constant free agency is ruining the game. I prefer the NFL to college football now, and I'm a dang Bengals fan. That's how bad this has gotten. Hard to disagree with that one. And that's all it's about. We got to have some contracts thrown in there. If Sam Levit wants to leave Arizona State, that's fine, but you're going to have to face a penalty. You're going to have to face some repercussions. As where it stands right now, these players can collect a check from Texas and just up and leave next year, and there's nothing you can say or do about it. I got to divert back to this anytime I talk about this situation. What have I always said? Hate the game, not the player. Am I mad at Sam Levit for doing this? No, because he can do it, and if I was in his position, I'd be doing the same exact thing. Why in the world would I stay at Arizona State where I have no chance to compete for a national championship when you got a team like, we'll just say, hypothetically speaking, Indiana, who's going to give me way more money? You're going to be on a better team, have better weapons, a better head coach in reality, but also a chance to compete for a national championship. It makes zero sense to stay at Arizona State. So I don't blame you, Sam. I don't. But just because I don't hate the player in this situation, it doesn't mean I have to love the game. And that's where I stand on it. Not going to sit up here and gripe too much because, like we've said, it is what it is. This is college football in the Big 2025, like it or not. Many more things I could say. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. But Roman.